What's going on, guys? We're starting back out here again for another episode of our little discount Top Gear thing. I think last time we looked at the Tenacity DB Pro and we have done laps with the Slash 4x4. Today we're going to take a look at the Traxxas Maxx V1. We have a version 2 here that'll come in the next episode of this some other time whenever I get around to uploading that. We're starting with the Maxx V1 today, and we're gonna go take it outside and get to the track. So instead of wasting time, we'll get ourselves moving. Probably gonna narrate this again because it's another day living in a wind tunnel. But we'll start here with a rolling start, and we'll see how the Maxx V1 does on the track today. Once I turn the tuner mode up halfway. Yep, that version of me was correct. We're going to be narrating this because it was another very windy day, as you can probably tell by the dust clouds. We're taking a warm-up lap here before we officially start timing it. We ran the Maxx V1 and V2 on the same day in the same conditions, since I think these might be a closer car to be interesting to see how these stack up against each other. This case, we're starting off with the version 1. Version 2 will be another video, as we just nail a completely intentional sick front flip coming out of the last corner there. Yeah, but we're going to take a couple warm-up laps here, start feeling the track out, feel the car out, and then we'll start timing it, because these were... I was trying to figure out what cars to do next. I thought Maxx 1 to Maxx 2 would be the next two cars to do for this series. We could try to do a UDRs next, maybe is what I'm thinking. But these were definitely not easy to drive with the Slash and the Tenacity especially. It was a much easier to get good lap times. These you had to be very careful with. Too much throttle would spin the car out or send it flying off the track, as we're probably going to see pretty soon here. They're definitely, they have more power, but at least around here it's harder to use all of it, and they don't handle nearly as well, which is why I thought this would be an interesting series to do as we failed backflip. Don't worry, we're not going to count the lap after the failed backflip. We're starting a fresh one. I thought it'd be cool to try and backflip the finish line, but I couldn't quite get it around. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do this series is to drive different cars like this around this one track and see how they kind of compare, since they're very different things. But who knows, is brute force a faster approach to having something actually set up to handle well and run around a track? We will find out at the end of this video, since we'll have a Slash and a Tenacity to compare these two. Let me know in the comments before you get to the end of the video, what do you think's faster, this Maxx running on 4S or a Tenacity on 3S? Because you might be surprised. Anyway, we're trying to get... You can see how windy it is by how much the dust blows off when we drift around that last corner there. As we come through the whoops, the Maxx definitely eats the whoops up a lot better. But as you can see in this back grassy corner, I have to be a little bit careful on that, because he will traction roll, which is kind of why, at least for now, I'm leaving that one back corner grassy, since there's slightly more traction in the amount of loose dirt I have, and I kind of... To me, it makes it feel more interesting when there's different terrains on the track, or at least for the purposes of these comparisons, it might highlight differences. Here's our little... Whoops! That went flying. Technical difficulties, we'll reset, we'll do a few more laps, and then we'll move on to the next portion. Yep, we accidentally sent her a little bit too hard, landed crooked, and flung the car up. It's kind of fun at the end of that crash, because you could watch the car boot the body up and send the body flying. So yeah, that was a good one. I've noticed with these, the Maxxes, you can definitely get most of this I was running less than half throttle. I very rarely was able to actually fully use the throttle on this, because it would just spin out and get kind of uncontrollable. Especially on that back straight. Well, I could hit the jump really quickly when I did some warm-up laps before we started filming. You can definitely get it moving very fast and absolutely send that jump, but you can launch that jump so far, you almost run into the concrete pad I'm storing my spare Jeep axles on right now. You can launch that thing so far, you will not be able to stop at the end of the thing, and you'll just bounce into my spare axles that are sitting on the concrete pad. So that's why I ended up having to, that felt faster to take it slow, so I was taking it a little bit slower to keep it under control. So yeah, if you've been wondering, there are, I have at least one video posted of wheeling the Jeep. We might be going out in a couple weeks or sometime in July if I can fix the AC unit, because it is way too hot to not have air conditioning in that thing. But yeah, we did some actual wheeling, which is what got me into got me back into RC cars and got me into the crawling things. Is wheeling for real is fun, but I can play with toy cars way more often, so I started playing with toy cars, and now it's snowballed, and now I'm doing this because I'm a functional adult in society. Yeah. Anyway, we'll hit I think this is the last lap we're going to have for that, and now we'll go for some redemption points on the backflip. Yep. There we go. It's doable. Just had to back off the track. Anyway, onto the Ultra 4 racing. Alright, Ultra 4. Here we go. Narrating this again because it is just way too windy and I gotta turn the audio way down. If I started trying to talk while I'm driving, A, you wouldn't be able to hear me. B, trying to focus on driving. You can see at the Max, much like I'm going to leave some of the struggles of the Ultra 4 course in for these because I think that's a fair way to balance it out. Since the difference I think we're going to quickly notice going through these as we get into more cars is trying to send everything through the Ultra 4 course, this go fast stuff. Like if you jump it just right and bump it, you'll be able to get through here probably quicker. However, if you don't get lucky and launch it all right, you get hung up and stuff like that, whereas when we go to run the bombers through this at a future date, the bomber's probably just going to breeze through all of it, and I don't think I'll ever get a bomber hung up on stuff like this because it has lockers and bigger tires and it's made for doing that. But yeah, we're going to leave some of the struggles in for those to try and, I guess, dilute the average lap time to give it a fair representation of, well, yes, if you jump through the Ultra 4 section and get lucky, it can go faster. On average, it's more difficult, more likely to get hung up. We'll see how it plays out once we actually get to running the other cars, because the bombers are really, really sketchy. They will not, they're much, much, much slower on the faster bit of the course here. We had to skip through there because we had another error where I kind of crashed the car off the track and just I'm throwing the lap time out from it being a really bad lap when it crashed that bad. I didn't want to throw the average off that much. So we're going to have a 3-lap average, I think, for Ultra 4 on the Max. And yeah, there we go. There's a third car up on the leaderboard for lap times. We will see where this falls in a moment here. I'll shut up and throw it back onto the past version of me to talk about the ending as we crash one more time. Alright, so there we go. Max V1 is on the lap board now as our third car. We'll go on to checking out the Max V2 in the future. Stay tuned for that if you want to see how they compare. Obviously, I got a little bit sendy on the back jump a few times, but we're going for lap times. And these aren't Ultra 4 cars. The bombers are supposed to be good at that, but I think these are going to blow them out because as we saw at the Ultra 4 racing bit, if we hit them fast enough, these go pretty quick. Lap times should have been on screen. Stay tuned for more if you want to see how other cars stack up in our little discount Top Gear series. We might be picking up some other stuff in the future. We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Well, thanks for watching if you made it that far. There's the leaderboard. Eventually we're going to have to go back to something in Excel to show all of this. But that's where it's at today. Subscribe for more cards on screen for the rest of the videos in the series. Thanks for watching.